Do you want to watch your encoder jump up 10%? Yes. YouTube, welcome in. Happy Sunday. It is Cookie Club Day. I'm going to be making blueberry coconut pecan cookies today. They are, I've last made these on stream in August of 2024. They were very good. These were probably my favorite cookie from Cookie Club that we've made. I know there's a lot of folks who've enjoyed all sorts of, who've had various favorites throughout the years that we've been doing Cookie Club. This one is one of mine. It is apparently also Lisa at the post office. Lisa at the post office. It's one of her favorites as well. And so we're making that today. This is the first time we've done a cookie twice. So we're setting a precedent that we can do cookies twice today, which I don't know if I love, but I do love these cookies, and they were a good one. And I'll be very, very honest that the reason that we're making these today is when I went to the post office to mail, what was I mailing? No, I was picking something up from the post office last week. Lisa, our one of the two lovely humans named Lisa who work at the post office, said that these were her favorite cookies, and she also said, she was like, yeah, I remember them, and it was like over a year ago that we made these. So she is has been helping, obviously, every month when I mail cookies. She enters all the addresses in. She does all of the sort of, I write the addresses in the box, but she makes sure they get to where they're going, the right place. And she had said, hey, these are a favorite cookie of mine. So I was like, well, let's make these because she's never asked for anything, and I appreciate her. What, Cal? Is that a game that your friends are playing?
No.
Okay. You're leaving with mom, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'd like to be able to have the game.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine, but you're not playing it now.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Velas, welcome in. D-Gamers, welcome in. Fudge Darling, welcome in. Good day. Good day. It is afternoon for me, 12:39 p.m. And you're welcome, Calvin. But you're like I said, you're leaving, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so okay. You can plug that in down here. You can plug that in down here. Whatever. Okay. Oh my God. I'm trying to extract him from his iPad. He was on his iPad 10 hours yesterday. Holy shit. The level of the level of entertainment and just like, oh my God. Like, just do anything but that. Anything but that. Whatever. I get it. Roblox is a big draw. All his friends are playing Roblox. So it's kind of nice when they play together. I don't mind when they're playing together. I don't love when it's like hours and hours of just mainlining the iPad on your own. I see Stampy in the background. Yes, indeed. You do see Stampy in the background. Stampy's lovely tote bag. Oh, those pillows are kind of wonky, huh? There's also a Twitch pillow back here, but whatever. I don't often look in that corner. Carly, welcome in. Used to watch Stampy. Stampy is great. My son used to watch Stampy too. He stopped watching Stampy when he discovered, like, I don't know, the rest of YouTube. Kale, where are the cookies? They're a concept at the moment. They exist conceptually in my mind and taste buds. We have not made cookies yet. We're working on it. We're not working on it. I'm actually just standing here. But maybe we should get started on it. That's fair. They're in the store. Certainly there are cookies in the store. The ones that we're making are going to exist physically in this space shortly. Not that shortly, but shortly. I think today's going to be a little bit of a you know what? Let's not say that out loudly. I was going to say that today might be a little shorter of a stream, but I don't know that that's actually going to be true. I'd like to finish today a little, you know, I don't want to drag out. I don't want to drag things out too far today, because it's Sunday and it is not a normal stream day for me, and I'd like to get to the end of my Sunday with, you know, being able to like have dinner and sit around, frankly. So we are going to get started, though. These cookies I've made before. I don't actually. Before we. Where's the thing? There it is. Hold on. I'm finding that there's a plug here. I'm plugging everything in. Half the process of cookie making is standing around. That's valid. Yeah. Usually for me, half the process of cookie making is like reading the recipe too. Now this one, we have the benefit of having done before, and I have my notes on how much weights are in here, which is amazing because I love to use the weight instead of the actual measuring cup. Much nicer. I did not weigh out all the other stuff, but let's read the recipe. I'm gonna see if there's any gotchas in here, anything that's like, oh shoot, I forgot about that. It says 20-minute prep time, 15-minute cook time, 20-minute additional time, total time to make this batch of cookies, 55 minutes. That is 2.5 hours of stream. That is 55 minutes off stream, 2.5 hours on stream. So that is accurate. What's the secret to good cookies? Preheating your oven in advance. Most assuredly, preheating your oven far enough in advance ensures that your oven is heated, obviously, but ensures that it is going to be consistent at a good, like, consistent temperature that it's supposed to be, as opposed to like you turn your oven on, it hits 400 and you put the cookies right in. So that's one tip. What other kind of cookie tips are out there? Does anyone have any good cookie tips? It really obviously depends on the recipe. A lot of them require resting, and if you want your cookies to be like chewy and, you know, following the directions, I don't know. What's the secret to a good cookie? Using weight instead of your cup measure. Finding a recipe. The secret to a good cookie is finding a good recipe, and the good recipe that uses weight. Carly says, most of the time I switch all the butter out for brown butter. That's a great idea. That is a delicious tip. That would add extra steps today. Another little cookie tip, I think, is if your recipe doesn't call for any salt in it, put salt in it. Just like a little pinch. It helps. Salt brings out flavor in savory foods and sweet foods. Let's read this recipe though. We're gonna at least double this. I might triple this. I'm probably gonna triple this because I can save these into balls, which means I can put them in the freezer and save some for later. So I'm probably, I got out enough butter to make a triple batch of this recipe. So what I'm probably going to do is make a single batch to make sure that I can double it. And if I can double it, then I will. And if not, I'll just see how many we'll get there. If you've been to Cookie Club before, you are well aware that I have a smaller mixer. Where's the mixer? I didn't even get the mixer out, whatever. I have a smaller mixer, and we usually do like one batch at a time. Last time we did Cookie Club, we did 4 batches of cookies, and it was a lot. It will not be that long today. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees. Take your room temperature butter. There you go. What's the secret to a good cookie? Read the recipe first and make sure you don't need your butter to be at room temperature first. I knew that I had to do that because I read this morning and got out my butter, and it's on the counter. It's been on the counter for like a couple hours and is at room temperature now. Cream it together with both sugars on medium for 1 minute. Add in your eggs and vanilla and cream together for 1 additional minute. Add in your cornstarch, baking soda, salt, and flour. Make sure it's spooned and leveled and measured correctly. We're not going to do that. Robbie, welcome in. Hey, look at that. That's 160 check-ins. Congratulations on your October Cookie Club entry. I am going to look in Discord because it brings me such joy to see it in the Level Up channel. Drink More, Cook Less has checked in 160 times. That's a Cookie Club entry. Oh my God, there it is. It's so beautiful. Y'all, I've talked for so long about making an automatic post to Discord whenever someone hits a Cookie Club multiplier, and I finally did it, and it works. And it works. And it only took like 5 minutes to build. I was talking about it for like 2 years. Anyway, add your cornstarch, baking soda, salt, and flour, and mix until just barely combined. Do not overmix, it says. Then add in your shredded coconut, dried blueberries, and chopped pecans, and mix briefly until they are dispersed throughout the dough. Recipe developer's note: I like to reserve some dried blueberries and chopped pecans for topping my cookie dough balls for a prettier look. But that's optional. That sentence is bad. Measure out your dough balls into either extra large cookie dough balls, 3/4 of a cup of dough. Holy crap, that's a lot of cookie dough. About 6 ounces. No, that's huge. That's huge. Or mini cookie dough balls, 1/4 cup of dough, about 2 to 2.5 ounces. That's the size we're going for. Place your cookie dough balls onto a greased and lined baking sheet. I like to use parchment paper or a Silpat mat. Make sure you leave plenty of room between your cookie dough balls. If making large 6-ounce cookies, bake for 10 to 12 minutes. If making mini cookies, bake for 8 to 9 minutes. Let baked cookies cool on a baking sheet for 10 minutes before transferring to a cooling rack. I recommend letting them cool for at least 30 minutes before eating them, they note. So here's what we are going to do. We're going to make a single recipe of this. I'm going to measure out ingredients for 3 all at once. We're going to measure all of our ingredients at one time. Then we're going to make a batch, pop that in the oven, make it, form it, put it in the oven, and then we'll figure out if we can make another batch, and then or if we can just double it. I'm hoping we can double it. If not, it's okay. That's totally fine. As long I've got all my ingredients measured out, so like it shouldn't be an issue to do like just 3 straight batches. Carly says, here's my question: why grease and line a pan? I feel in my heart that it's redundancy, but there's likely a reason behind it. I don't know, and I'm not going to do that. Why grease the pan? So that they don't stick. But like I am just going to. I have never. I'm sure there's a reason for that. I'm positive there's a reason for that. If you would like, you can ask my friend Megan. She is there is her info in chat. She is feel free to ask her on Instagram because she is a professional baker and recipe developer, tester, and like knows all sorts of stuff like that. And I'm not able to answer that question. Why you would grease why for a cookie you would grease the pan? Maybe your pan, maybe you don't have. The only thing that I could think of is if you don't have parchment paper or a silicone pastry mat, you might want to so that they don't stick. But there's plenty of butter in these cookies already, so I don't see why they would stick. Okay, have fun. Do you want those cards?
I guess.
Yeah. Birthday cards, in case someone there's having a birthday. It's not birthday cards. But yeah, I don't know why you would grease a sheet pan. I'm going to use a silicone pastry mat, and I'm not going to grease it at all. I'm wondering why a recipe would include both. Should have put the emphasis on and. Oh, why it would include both? Because I don't know. Because it's my guess. Honestly, my guess in this case is because this is from a blog, someone's like personal blog, and it's just something that like they do. I am positive that there's no specific reason in this recipe to do that. I have no idea. Why would you grease a silicone pastry mat to make cookies? I have no idea. And also, they don't specify what kind of grease you would use here. Would you use butter? Would you use like vegetable, like Crisco? Would you use olive oil? I don't know. Levin, hello. I grease and line a muffin tin or a cake tin, but not a sheet pan. Yeah, and I think for cake it makes sense because cake always is a little stickier. I don't know. Cookies, I have no idea why you would. Like I said, my guess is that this person, it's probably just like their personal blog, and that's what they have always done. So that's what they always do. I know that I've made these cookies before, so I know they turn out well. Generally speaking, when I see a recipe that's on someone's personal blog and includes no weights and several typos, I'm instantly skeptical. Like this one has typos in it. Typos, like weird spacing issues. It doesn't use any weight for a baking recipe, so I don't know. But it's not a thing about making it. Caillou says, how many times have you made cookies? At least 24. We've been doing Cookie Club for a while now, and how many times have I made cookies like lifetime? I have no idea. Several more. How many times have I made cookies in my lifetime? More than 100, less than 500. Today we're doing blueberry coconut pecan cookies. That's what we're doing today. They are supposed to be Levain style cookies, which is like, if you're familiar with Levain, it's like, you have to say it like that. You have to say it with like the taste of disdain on your mouth. It's a bakery that is famous for like huge, like 6-ounce, like giant cookies. Oh, we're not making them giant cookies today because like that's too much. Carly says, I heard that and I've seen it in recipes and I'm like, I'm not sure. So I just usually do a little water to make the parchment stick. Okay. And then cookies have butter. Yeah. For me, it's like if the cookies have all this butter in them, and I don't need to grease the sheet pan because like the butter's, they're not going to stick. They're just not. We'll ever do a stream where we make one giant cookie. The potential is there. I will not say no. Am I inclined to do that generally? Not really, but it's possible. It's possible. That's from a funny thing happened on the way to the forum. Okay, so we're gonna do all of our dries. So we have both sugars, 1 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. So sugars will fit in here. Sugars, cornstarch, baking soda, and salt and flour. 1, 2, how much? You know what? It doesn't matter because that's 4 cups worth. That's plenty. Shredded coconut, blueberries, and chopped pecans. So pecans, blueberries, coconut should all fit in here. Pecans, blueberries, coconut. And then the butter is already in. The butter's in sticks. I don't need to worry about that. The egg and vanilla, 2, 4, 6 eggs. So eggs, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6 eggs. And vanilla will go into there. All right, cool. So we are set up for our mise. I didn't realize it was based on a bakery. I thought it was using a levain, like a type of sourdough starter. No, it's based on levain is a it's a bakery. I mean, I assume so. It says these Levain Bakery style XL blueberry coconut pecan cookies. There's a typo in the literal first sentence. I always have very little faith when I see recipes that, like, if you haven't edited the words in the recipe, I have zero faith that you have tested it. So anyway, I've made these before, so I know I'm like, it's fine. All this is fine. We're good. Carly says, I love a Levain copycat. I have a chocolate chip recipe that gave me my other baking tip, which is adding nutmeg to chocolate chip cookies. Nutmeg's a good additive in many things. That sounds good. I've never considered that. I think it's funny that Big Cookies put a bakery on the map in America. It is very on brand, Lemon. It is dare I say it's excessively on brand. Okay, let's do the eggs. We'll do the eggs. Eggs are getting mixed in, so I don't really care if we break the yolks here. So 2 eggs per batch. 1, 2. They're not, if I'm being like petty, the Levain cookies are good, but they're also like $10 each. And it's like, y'all, they're not $10 good. They're just not. Sorry. I don't think, I'm gonna go out and just say, I don't think that any single cookie is worth that much. I don't believe that to be true. I think $10 is too much to spend for a cookie. $10 cookies in this economy? Yeah, people are still buying them too. Just nuts. Anyway, it's not, it doesn't, let me wash my hands. I just had eggs on them. It doesn't really matter because we're not making them that big, and I am not going to be buying any Levain cookies anytime soon. I guess there is one of those stores in Philly, and I have had cookies from there. I got cookies from there like 2 days after they opened because I was like, all right, I keep hearing about these, and like, you know, everybody's like, they're so good. Yeah, they're okay. You just like, I don't know. The value of them is if you buy one and you eat it in like 3 sittings. They're huge. I mean, like, they're genuinely massive cookies. Okay, I had some shells in one of those. All right, eggs are good. Eggs to the side. Next, sugars. I have weights for the sugars, so this will be easy. 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 They needed something to eat to survive the New York Ironman triathlon, so they made 6-ounce cookies. I'm assuming they made like protein or heavy carb or some other like not like right now they're like chocolate chip cookies. Like, is that a thing that you would eat during a marathon? I have no idea. I am not a runner, so the only time I run is catching the bus, and I don't like doing that. If I know there's another bus coming and I'm not in a hurry, I won't do that either. So 247.5 grams of brown sugar, 247.5 grams. $220. So what I did last time I made these, I just I did measure with like a measuring cup, and I just wrote the weight down. So I'm going off of what I wrote down as opposed to using a measuring cup, which I'm generally confident in. Like if I write down a weight, I'm pretty self-assured that weight is what I can use in the future. If I've written it down on a printed out recipe like that, okay, now I'm working on my third. I like to do all of this part at once because then I can put my ingredients away and I have more room on my counter. Bella says, when I was a kid, I remember a company made 10-inch cookies that were sold at delis that came in a giant glass jar. Nice. Whoa, you got to keep the jar? That is exciting. That is actually exciting. I would be excited about that too, fellas. I would be excited about that right now. I do not need to be 10 to be excited about that type of thing. And then 99 grams of granulated sugar. Boris, welcome in. Good afternoon. 99 grams of sugar. 70. Whoa, no, whoa, hey, right on the nose. Look at that. So we're creaming the butter and both sugars together at the same time. So what I'm doing is I'm just getting all my ingredients set up. The eggs and vanilla go together, go into the mixer together. The sugars and the sugar goes in together so I'm just putting the sugar in the same container, and then all the rest of my dry ingredients go in at the same time as well. So we're just doing a little combo here. So all I need to do when I'm making these batches is dump, and that's it. And it'll make it a lot easier to be efficient. So this is all just for the sake of efficiency here. This is what one would do in a regular bakery if you were making large batches of things. A regular bakery meaning like a commercial bakery. Counterweight. So sugars are finished. 2, 3. What do I need for vanilla? Because I can just put the vanilla in here too. 2 teaspoons of vanilla per egg. Per egg cup. Let's see. Teaspoons, where are you? Are they in the... I think the teaspoons are in the dishwasher. No! Do that or they're in the wrong drawer. Let's see. Hold on. Teaspoons are in the dishwasher. Damn it. Okay, that's fine. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Misha, welcome in. Hello. Hello. It's nice to have you. Welcome. Thank you for bringing friends through today. We're doing a bit of a cookie club this afternoon. I hope stream was good for you today. It's nice to have you. Happy Sunday. I'm assuming it's pretty well Sunday wherever most folks here are. So if it's not Sunday for you, then what day is it? Anyway, welcome in. It's nice to have you. My name's Lou. This is a food and drink stream like 80% of the time. The other 20% is IRL, where we're out in the world looking around, but mostly we're here making a mess. No, mostly we're here making vegetable forward food and for myself, my partner, and our son. Dinner is usually the big thing. We do recipe development here. We also do some baking, which is what we're doing today. We're making blueberry coconut pecan cookies for Cookie Club. Cookie Club is the monthly rewards program for members of our community. And welcome in. I should note that followers are silent. If you are inclined to lurk, like I am in most Twitch streams where I enjoy hanging out, if you hit the follow button, there's no sounds, no alerts, no chat messages, and I will not say hi to you unless you say hi in chat first. Enjoy your lurk, and yeah, welcome in. Good to have you. Grab a hooker. Welcome. 5 hours left for Sunday. Yeesh. It is definitely late there, huh? That's well, that's not late actually. It's not that late. 7 p.m. There we go. Quantum Break. I'm not familiar with Quantum Break. I'm assuming Quantum Break is a game. Welcome in. Also, if you are into video games, I love that for you. I am not. I'm not saying that I don't love. Here's what I'm saying. I'm saying that I don't play video games. I'm not telling you that video games are bad or anything. This is Twitch. Anybody who's streaming on Twitch who's like, video games are stupid or evil or whatever, like, what are you doing? Wrong platform, y'all. However, if you were expecting gaming at some point today or ever, that would not be a valid expectation of me. We just do cooking, and then we get out in the world. I think that I may have, I don't know how much vanilla I just put into those two. I think I just put 4 in each of those. I am using a half teaspoon and I'm supposed to put 2 teaspoons. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. I'm pretty sure I did that correctly. And if I didn't, then I didn't. Sorry about the dad jokes. No, totally valid. Listen, the stream name has dad in the name. We have a dad joke channel point redemption that you can redeem, and I keep a whole bunch of really crappy dad jokes right underneath of the computer here on cards. You don't need to apologize for the dad jokes. Eggs. Okay, so we got the butter ready, we got the sugar ready, we have the eggs and vanilla ready. Now we're going to put the dry ingredients in here: cornstarch, baking soda, salt, and flour. We're going to start with the flour because that's the most voluminous of the ingredients, and also the one that is probably the easiest to measure because I have a little shovel trough, a shovel. A shovel for the flour. 355 grams, that's 2.5 cups. At least that's, see, again, I'm measuring based on the weight, that I had last time. And I know that the container that I'm using is a 4-cup container. So that is, yeah, that's about accurate. I mean, like, just eyeballing it, that's about 2.5 cups. That's 355 grams. So yeah. The recipe itself says cups. So the recipe calls for 2.5 cups, no notes on weight. I've made these before, so I made my own notes on weight. And I'm going off of my own notes, not the actual recipe. Which is normal. If I'm making something a second time, I always look at my notes, because I mostly make notes when I'm making things. It's why I love printing out a recipe versus looking it up online. I mean, I do look it up online, like that's where I got it from. But I mostly will print things and be able to like write on them. And for me, that's extremely valuable. Because, you know, like I said, I made this, the last time I made this was August of 2024. I don't know, you know, I don't remember exactly what the things were here, but I do know that I wrote down the weight, and I trust myself that that was the right weight. Okay, so we have flour, salt, a teaspoon of salt. Let's use the, let me get the same, get this teaspoon over here. I'm going to dry this off. There we go. All right, salt is, this is a half teaspoon, so I need 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Flour, salt, baking soda, a teaspoon of baking soda. So again, we got 1, 2. Oh, 1, 2, 1, 2. Baking soda. Who is that? Hi, Vibe Mike. Welcome. Hey, that's your very first Cookie Club entry via the check-ins. Congratulations. That's amazing. That means that you have a Cookie Club entry. In addition to being a subscriber, you have a Cookie Club entry for October, just based on coming in and checking into stream. Isn't that cool? I love when that happens. I've been considering some updates to Cookie Club entries. I am going to expand some of the ones. Did you want to do something for 20 check-ins? Oh, Velas, what I was saying, I think I know what you're talking about. I did the Discord thing, so it posts in Discord now. So that check-in from Mike there, if I go into the level up channel in Discord, I can see that it says Hi Vibe Mike has checked in 20 times. That's a Cookie Club entry. So it is, I did do that. And the thing that I was talking about was that I wasn't sure when I was writing the string of like regex code to make that check-in thing happen. I wasn't sure if I could keep the thing that says as of reset April 20th, 2023 on there. Because basically like every time someone checked in with the 20, it would like call that out. But I figured out how to make it fire off of that specific number of check-ins. Like if the base, it's a regex string, so basically that string takes a look at the variable which is the specific number of check-ins for that actual user, as opposed to the text of the message. So I can put whatever number I want in there. So having the 20 in the thing doesn't matter. Also having the like 20, 23, I was worried about that too. It doesn't matter because it's based off the variable. Anyway, little in the weeds. It works. Sofop, enjoy your being out and about. Brisk -4 this morning. I hope the snow just skirted right by you. That was a lot of snow that you were looking at. I could never. I could, but it seemed like a lot. It seemed like a lot. Seemed like a lot to deal with. We are, it is 13:15 my time. For all of y'all who are here hanging out on Twitch instead of watching American football, you are my type of people. I want you to know that. 32 grams of cornstarch. Okay, pause. Add in the cornstarch, baking soda, salt, and flour. Okay, so 32 grams of cornstarch per container. And I'm just using a spoon to get this like right on the nose because I can't really pull this out. I can't pull it out if I put too much in. Right? A thick layer of ice and frost. Oh my God. Meanwhile, I don't know what the temperature is here today, but it is warm. I was out. We went out, Calvin and I went out to the store this morning for just a few minutes to get dried blueberries for this recipe. And I was sweating when I was walking outside. So at this point, I'm like, I would love some negative, you know, some cold temperatures, but like not that cold. All right, perfect. I have less. I could not have made 4 batches of this. I can make 3. I do have more cornstarch. I was really hoping that I didn't need to open a new container of cornstarch to finish this out because then I would be mixing like fresh and old cornstarch, which I don't love doing because I don't know. Because I don't love doing that. No NFL here to view. No, for sure. You know what I did watch though? Speaking of sports, Calvin and I watched the Philadelphia Union soccer game last night, and it was good. Memphis barbecue, easy to add it, hard to take it away. Exactly. Memphis, congrats on your outdoor stream the other day. I saw you were setting up for that in. I saw you were doing like a nighttime stream where you were setting up and then you were doing another, like the actual stream. I hope it went well. High of 83 in Philadelphia. Yup, it was hot. That's 28 Fahrenheit, Celsius. Slinka, welcome in. Hello. Good to have you. Outside, Nikita's playing on the playground at a seasonal market and we're bundled up. Whew. Yeah. And kids are fucking wild. They'll be out at the market and then they'll be like they'll be like running around, but then they'll be like having a t-shirt. They'll be like wearing a t-shirt. And you're outside and you're like, what are you doing? The laptop overheated and killed the stream. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. That is definitely a thing. I've had heat issues with my IRL setup for sure. 1 1/4 cups of dried blueberries. Okay, so we're gonna measure out how much 1 cup of dried blueberries is weight wise. So that's 170 grams. I also have I have 2 types of dried blueberries. I had some already, so I'm gonna do a mix of these. I'm gonna measure out the cup first, and then I'll put like a 1/4 cup of the different kind in there so that it's an even, what did I say, 170? Yeah. So that it's an even distribution of like these types of blueberries and the other types of blueberries. Okay, 140. So it's not going to be quite an even distribution, but we're almost there. Grapple Hooker says there was a major storm over the North Sea on Friday. We got some of it. 90-kilometer winds. Jesus. That's intense. That is intense. That's a lot. That's a lot of wind. It's a lot of wind. That's some crazy fast wind. All right, so a quarter cup of these is 31 grams. Okay. Okay, good. So now we have an even amount of like each type of blueberry in each of these containers, because I didn't, like I said, I didn't have enough in one bag. Like I got some more, but I guess I didn't get enough. I needed like 3 of those blueberry bags. Whatever. I had these already because I was using them for the flax seed bars that I was making the other day, which, by the way, it turned out really well. I'm very happy with them. 1.5 cups of sweetened shredded coconut. I don't like shredded coconut. I kind of like the larger flaky coconut. So we're using that instead because it's just personal preference. And then the pecans, I need to chop. So we're gonna do the coconut, and then we'll do the pecans last. So 1.5 cups of sweetened shredded coconut. Now I know that I have enough coconut of this one variety, so I'm gonna do a full 1, and let's just do a 1/2 cup in here. This is kind of, if it's close, it's fine. 1.5. That's 62 grams of coconut. And we're just making sure these are even. That's all that I'm doing. Like just keeping the batches exactly the same is the goal. Even if they're a little bit over or under the actual cup measurement, it's fine because these are the solids. It matters a little bit more for the things like baking powder, which we did not put in here. We used baking soda. But it matters a little bit more for those, and a little less for this aspect of it. So, okay, putting things back in the cabinet here. Coconut can go back in. All right. And now we need pecans. Get my counter wipe here. Boris, blueberry cookies indeed. These are blueberry coconut pecan cookies, so they should be pretty good. Memphis says the laptop overheating was a learning experience. It always is. I mean, that's kind of, streaming is basically just that. You're like, well, I didn't know I was going to have that problem today, which is a thing that happens to me pretty much every day. This is stream number 498 for me. And I am almost positive that something will come up today that has never happened before. That's how it goes. Mike, shredded gets lost. Exactly. I think that visually these are just like, I like the actual chunky coconut a little bit better. It says pecans. It doesn't say to chop the pecans. Oh, it does. Okay, it does. So we're gonna chop the pecans. Here's an annoying thing about a recipe. When you don't know whether you are supposed to measure the pecans before or after you've chopped them, because they're different. Those are two different things. So I am going to assume that 1 3/4 cups pecans is 1 3/4 cups whole pecans, because in the recipe it says add your shredded coconut, dried blueberries, and chopped pecans. It's the only ingredient in this recipe that you could have, that you may have to, that processing is a part of it, other than the eggs, which you have to like take out of the shell, which like for gosh sake, that's a fundamental thing. Like, you should just know that that's a thing you have to do. Anyway, let's chop some pecans here. I'm gonna measure and chop my pecans, and then we're gonna take a quick words on stream break. Let me wash my hands.
Oh no!
Yes, I know. It's gonna be a break in a second, in a few minutes. We're gonna extend that so that the ad break is a little bit farther out than 2 minutes from now, because I want to finish getting all my ingredients together. This will be, if we can do this, which I need to extend the ad. Hold on. Let's do 5. There we go. All right. We have about 10, I think it says we have about 10 minutes now. In order to get these pecans chopped. This may be the very first time. It won't be if you keep talking, Lou, I swear. This may be the very first time that we finish our mise before the first ad break. Okay, so we're gonna do 1 3/4 cup pecans. Oh, hold on. How much? I should just weigh this out. That way I don't need to do this 3 times. Okay. So 162 grams worth of pecans. That's what we want to do. Well, Mac, welcome in. Good to see you. I know. I'm delaying the ad break, but like, we have the admin privileges to do that. We can do this. It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. Let's chop these pecans. We'll chop 1 batch of these at a time. What do they say? 162? Yeah, 162. See how long I can keep that number in my head. It's like when you have to remember like a text message from your bank or some shit, and they get you, they send you like your confirmation code. The total, like the pressure to remember that number for like 5 full seconds is real. Is real. How many times have y'all ever just clicked? You look at the text, you're like, oh, these are the numbers, and then you go back into your browser and you're like, what were the numbers? And you're like, damn it, and you have to hit send again. Awful. Definitely a thing that I have done many times. That is an interesting part of your brain that it retains things like that for that amount of time. Fascinating. All right, let's see if we can fit all of these pecans into the container here. I think we can, because they're chopped up. Yeah, 1 3/4 cups of chopped pecans would be quite a bit. So this is nice. All right, 162 grams worth of pecans. I don't think I'm gonna make it. I think it's gonna take me longer than what we have. Don't start rushing. You're using a knife. Your fingers are on the cutting board. Just be calm. You can do this. I don't know if you guys know this, but right now I'm recording an affirmations podcast for chefs, simultaneous to streaming today. Watch your fingers. They're valuable. They are your livelihood. Don't cut your fingertips because you're rushing. Take your time. Do it right. God. Okay. Now, these are chunky, but they're supposed to be chunky, right? These are chunky cookies. That's how it goes. It's age talking. Right, it is age talking, Grapple Hooker. That is for real. When you're trying to remember those codes and you're just like, oh, the pressure is on. There's so much pressure. 162 grams of pecans. See, I knew I had to buy 2 bags. Anyway, we are going to take a break coming up here in about 1 minute and 30 seconds. So, for those of y'all who are new to the stream, we run a game of words on stream during our break time. That doesn't go in the trash. That is a plastic container. You're going to use that again. We run a game of words on stream during the ad time. We run 3 minutes worth of ads on Twitch. If you are on Twitch and you're not a subscriber, I regret to inform you that you have some ads coming up. We'll be back in 3 minutes after that ad break ends. And if you are so inclined and you want to hear the behind the scenes chatter that goes on during the ad break, you should go subscribe on YouTube, because YouTube has no ads because that channel is not monetized. Anyway, there's a link to that in chat. The YouTube, I mean. Anyway, we are going to get started with that in about 20 seconds here. So, it's a good time to get up, get a stretch, get a drink, get a snack, have a good cry, whatever you need. Maybe if you want to check the football scores, feel free. Here comes a game of words on stream. Here comes a 3-minute ad on Twitch. We'll be right back.
Hi, welcome to another edition of Commercials
Yay,
I Hate.
we did it. Yo, I did it. I did it. For the first time in forever. Okay. Taking care of some of the dishes here, so that we don't end up with a sink full of woe at the end of this. We're gonna end up, hopefully we end up with 0 dishes at the end of this, because all I'm doing is using some sheet pans today. And all the stuff that I just did for the meats can go in the dishwasher. So I think we're in a good spot dish-wise. I'm gonna do the knife, the bench scraper, the cutting board, put this in the dishwasher. We got pecans can go away, blueberries can go away, the sheet pan can go back in where the sheet pans go. Actually, that's not where pecans go. Pecans go in this one. All right. Words is not popular today, and that's okay. That's okay. We're still having an ad regardless of whether or not anyone's playing words. Although if no one actually is interested in playing words, we could probably just not do that, which is totally fine. I'm running the ads because they're there and Twitch says we have to. So it's going to give you the disappointed sound. Ready? Yeah, there it goes. Okay, we're going to... It doesn't seem like folks want to play words, so let's just come back and we'll wait for this ad to No one could hit the answers. Yes, that's correct. Okay, let's just come back and we'll come on over here for just a moment. And that's totally fine. That's really funny. It is we'll do these 2 to 3 dishes here. Wait, no, 4. There's 4. There's a measuring spoon, there's a bench scraper, there is a cutting board, and there is a knife. And then we'll be back in just a few moments here when the ad break finishes. Strong Bad's gonna let us know, and then we'll come back over to the computer. Alrighty.
It's over!
Thanks, Strong Bad. Okay, we're back. We're gonna start our batch processing now. At some point, this before we do any, at some point we have to make the bags too, because these get the vacuum sealer gets overheated when it gets used too much. So I need to make those bags ahead of time, or at least stagger out when the bags are being made. Okay, anyway, we have our mise en place ready to go. This is that. You know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm thinking about this right now. I'm actually going to make all 3 batches of this at once. So we're gonna like for real batch this out. Because I'm thinking that it will be easier to do that and then just put all of the dough in my bigger bowl, which I did last time for the first time making cookies, and it worked really well to have all of that sort of dough at once, and then I can just like roll the cookies and make them. So I think that's what we're gonna do, which makes like that'll make things. We're batching everything today. We got all of my mise here with sort of in progressive order of when it goes in, and then we'll do a batch of cookies, put that dough in the bowl, put the bowl in the fridge, and then we'll just do another one. But I am proud of myself for the first time in forever. For the first time in forever, we finished all of our mise before the first ad break. That's never happened. Has it happened? I don't think so. I don't think so. Ah, where's the bigger bowl? Oh no! Oh no. Kool-Aid Man burst through. Oh yeah! Wait, is that Kool-Aid Man or was that Macho Man Randy Savage? It doesn't matter. They're kind of the same. I forgot that the bigger bowl is currently filled with popcorn. So I don't have the bigger bowl. I'm assuming all of the dough will be able to pile up in this bowl. Pause. We're gonna do something. Snowfluff, thank you for the act. Thank you for the claps. I appreciate it. We're gonna do something because I'm remembering to do it. We're gonna weigh this bowl and we're gonna write the tare volume on the bottom of this bowl so that I know how much it weighs. And that way I can just do the math for the dough. So this weighs 274 grams. So I'm literally writing that in Sharpie on the bottom of the bowl. We know for the future, 274 grams. Okay, let's get my mixing bowl out because that is going to be needed. All of this gets mixed in the mixer, which is super nice. As opposed to having to like mix some of it in and then like fold some of it in by hand and all of that. Now this whole thing is just like into the mixer it goes, and it's finished without any extra steps. It's amazing, and I love that. Okay. For the first time in forever, I finished my mise in an hour and 10 minutes. Proud of myself, though. Like, truly. Preheat your oven. Done. Take your room temperature butter and cream it together with both sugars on medium for 1 minute. All right, we're just going to start. We're going to take our room temperature butter. Room temperature butter. Hey, the bot's letting us know that followers are silent. That means if you're lurking and aren't following and you hit the follow button, you can continue to lurk without anybody saying anything to you. It's nice when that happens. Okay, butter and sugar. Sugar, butter. 1 minute on medium. Cream together on medium for 1 minute. That's about medium. Perfect. And got a little spatula to scrape things down here. At the 1 minute mark, I'll scrape this down and then we'll add another like couple seconds on here. So I have now the paddle attachment on here that has the like silicone blade on the outside of it that makes it so that it's supposed to scrape the inside of the bowl. I don't know how much that actually works. But it seems nicer. Like everything, I worry about the fact that like it's silicone and how many microplastics are getting in these cookies. Lots. All right, that's finished. I'm gonna scrape this down and cream that together again for like 1 minute. Not 1 minute, just like a couple seconds. Yeah. Okay, we got. Yeah, you still need to scrape it. That's it. Like it comes up too high on the thing. Now I'm also on the side of the bowl, I should say. I'm also looking here to see if I can make a double batch. So once the volume of this once this is finished, I am going to kind of determine if I can do that or not. Cream together for 1 additional. Add your eggs and vanilla and cream together for 1 additional minute. All right, eggs and vanilla going in, and 1 additional minute. Pop this into this. We're gonna load. Loading the dishwasher as we go. Stainless steel attachments are nice. I love a little bit of a larger mixer. I have in, not that I expect anybody to like purchase it, but I did some research on a larger mixer and I put one on the Throne, whatever, like gift list, wish list, whatever. It wasn't the like largest size one that KitchenAid makes, but it's like the next size up from this one, which I think is probably ideal. Because basically every time I make cookies, it's like at least a double batch, if not more. I'd love to be able to do all of this at one time. That would be amazing. But that is not happening today. It is not happening anytime soon. I'm probably not going to go buy myself a large mixer. That's a like ask like multiple family members to like, that's when you get into the group chat. You text like 6 family members at the same time, and you're like, this is what I would like for Christmas. And you hit send, and then you leave that group chat. You just start a group chat with a bunch of people who might buy you a present, and then leave that chat. Business Costco. Ooh, I'll have to look into that. I do love Costco. Add the cornstarch, baking soda, salt, and flour, and mix until just barely combined. Do not overmix, it says. Okay, so we're gonna add this. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of add this in. I'm gonna add this in, and then I'm gonna take my spatula and give it like a fold or two so it doesn't pop up when I hit the mixer. So we're just gonna kind of give this a little bit of a like first push into the dough. And then mix that. Now hit this with the mixer. Liz, hello. Liz, thank you for your sub. That is 3 years. That is a 3-year sub. That is a hell of a long time to be listening to anything that I have to say on a regular basis, and I appreciate you. It's good to have you. Happy Sunday. I hope your weekend has been interesting and, well, I hope your weekend has been interesting. Sounds like a really dubious thing to say. I hope you've had an interesting weekend. I hope you've had a good weekend. I hope you've had the weekend that you wanted to have and were hoping to have. Okay, we're mixing this into the dough. Do not overmix. Okay, that looks pretty well mixed in. Then add in your shredded coconut, dried blueberries, and chopped pecans. We have that here. And mix briefly until they are dispersed throughout the dough. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and just add those in right now. And mix. We're just gonna like give this like a couple bursts, not bursts. We're stirring using the stir function only, and that looks mixed throughout the dough. So we're gonna go ahead and pull that off. We absolutely cannot do a double batch in here, so we're gonna make all 3 of these batches at once, and then not at once. If I can't do a double, you can't do a triple. That's not how it works. We're gonna do individual batches, but we're going to make all the dough before we start shaping it, and put that in the refrigerator in the big bowl while we make each of those batches. And then we'll have all of the dough done at once, and then we can start baking. And then once we start baking, that'll be good. I will probably like do the baking, finish the baking, then we'll probably make the bags, because these need to rest for a little while. I don't know how many balls these are going to make, but I do know that I can sort of determine how many they'll make, or how many I think they'll make, if I wait when I dump this dough into this bowl. So let's do that, and we'll see what my estimate is for the number of cookie balls that I'll be able to get out of each batch of dough. Lemon, I like that idea. I want to try to remember that I should look at Costco for those things. I don't always think about Costco because I don't have a Costco membership myself. I use Instacart for Costco because they have a Costco membership, and like I can just use theirs. I'd love to have a friend who has a Costco recipe that I can like leech off of their recipe and just go in. Liz, it's almost 11 a.m. and you're still in your PJs. Sounds like a great Sunday then. Sounds like an amazing Sunday, honestly. Okay, that dough looks good. It has good like texture to it. I don't see any, there's no loose flour on the bottom of the bowl. So this is good. We've got we're off to a good start here. We're off to a good start. Liz, we have made these before. These were the cookies from August of 2024. I am making them again. Now, I want to note that we're setting a precedent here that cookies can be done more than once. This is the first time we've ever we've ever repeated a cookie, but I have good reason for that. So this is 14. Hold on, pause. I'm in the middle of two thoughts. 1, 4, 6, 8 grams per batch, which is 51.8 ounces. So 50, let's just call it 50 ounces divided by 2.5 ounces per cookie is 20 cookies per batch, roughly. Okay, that's good. That means that I need about 42 cookies, so I will have extras. 42 is like, some folks haven't responded for Cookie Club yet. If that's you, feel free to respond. Or don't. I don't really, if you don't want cookies, that's totally fine. Or if you don't want one of the prizes. Anyway, whatever. There's some folks that haven't responded, and if they do respond, then I will need that full number of cookies. But they may not, and so I may not need up about 42, but I need up to 42 cookies I need space in this refrigerator. That's what I need. But yes, Liz, these have been made before. They were made last August. The reason that I'm making them again is twofold. One is because, well, and this is not the primary reason for sure. But a reason is that I personally really love them. They were one of my favorite cookies. One of my favorite cookies I've ever made. Two, when I went to the post office recently to pick up a package, I was talking to Lisa, our lovely United States postal worker, and she was like, I came in and I didn't have a big bag with boxes in it, and she goes, where are the cookies? And I was like, well, I'm just here to pick something up. I'm sorry. And she was like, you didn't bring me cookies today, huh? And I was like, no, I didn't bring you cookies. I'm sorry, Lisa. I will be here next Monday. And why does she talk like she has a gun? Because she's a United States postal worker. And these people are on the fucking front lines of crazy. They're like legit. Anyway, I'm terrified of her. And not in a like I feel threatened way, in a like I would never cross you kind of way. In the kind of way that I consider when I go to the post office to bring cookies, that they open at 9 a.m. and I am in the lobby at 8:50 so that I can be first in line, because it is the only time of day where there's not a line is the beginning of the day. And I want to be there if I went at lunch. I said this to her before. I was like, I would never come at lunchtime because that's when everyone comes. And she was like, if you came at lunch, I'd ask you to come back. And I was like, and you would be well within your right to do that. Because I bring this time around, right now I have 11 boxes, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 boxes ready to go. Anyway, I try to be respectful. I try to get there early. I try to do it right. But when I came in, she was like, you made one cookie that I keep thinking about. And I was like, what? TLDR, it's this one. But I was like, what? Okay, tell me more. And she was like, it had coconut or maybe pecans and some sort of cranberry or blueberry. And I was like, I'm pretty sure it was the blueberry coconut pecan cookies that you're talking about. And she was like, yes. She was like, it was a while ago. And I was like, it was over a year ago. It was last August. And she was like, she's like, I've been thinking about those so much. And I was like, okay, that's amazing. So am aware that if you're like a United States government worker, it's not a great time for you right now. If you're in the United States, it's not a great time for you right now. But specifically, like government folks. So I was like, listen, Lisa has dropped off. Lisa has hand entered if you've ever received a box from Cookie Club, Lisa has entered that your address into the system by hand and has like made sure that they get to you. So I was like, I'm going to make these cookies this time around because I because I enjoy seeing you. I appreciate everything that she does. I appreciate her patience. Like, so I was like, you just told me what your favorite cookie was that I've ever made. Great. She knows where you live. She talks like she has a gun. This is true. Yeah. Again, would not cross Lisa. Would not cross her. And it's funny because not in a creepy like doxing way, but she'll be like, oh, this is like, oh, you send, this person has won before, because she sees like the screen names, right? Like, because mostly if you've ever gotten a box from me, you know that I just like put your Twitch name on the box, which has come back very awkwardly. Some people were like, hey, that was really awkward for me, and I'm like, I'm sorry, you didn't. You got to tell me if you want a different name on the box. My bad. Anyway, Lissy, welcome in. It's nice to have you. I saw you say hi. I didn't say hi. Lady Stiletto, welcome in. Hello. Howdy indeed. Lady Stiletto, I thought you were Lissy Bits and Bytes because you have the same screen name on my instance of chat. Same color screen name. Sorry, not the same screen name. Obviously, it's a different screen name. Very clearly, it's a different screen name. But that's why I said hello to Lissy first. Unless she actually chatted too, and I just missed it, and it was a little farther up. And Lissy, if you're here and you chatted, hello to you too. Anyway, yeah, she's. So there's some folks, like, if you're a tier 3 subscriber, you get cookies every month. I just like send you cookies. I don't ask. I mean, I have asked in the past, and I assume if you didn't want them anymore, you'd tell me. I'm washing this bowl, by the way. That's like what I'm doing over at the sink. Anyway, so like the folks who are like common names, she just like sees every month. It's just very funny. Lisa, whether y'all know it or not, is a very important part of Cookie Club for me specifically. So when she just unprompted told me what her favorite cookies were, and I know that they're those folks at our postal employees are fighting the battle right now. I was like, you know what? If I can make some cookies that I know that you'll love, I'm happy to do that. And like, so that's why we're repeating cookies for the first time. Also because I'm terrified of Lisa. It's because I'm fucking terrified. Complimentary. She's great. I remember one time I was like, maybe I'll come over here and do like I'll come over and mail these like on an IRL stream one day. And then I immediately, like, we were having that conversation and I immediately was like, I'm definitely not ever going to do that because of, like, obviously there's huge people's addresses and all that shit. And she was like, don't come in here with a camera. And I was like, heard, got it. Will not come into your post office with a camera. Acknowledged. She was pretty definitive about that. It was great. I love Lisa. Fun fact, there's 2 Lisas at the post office. And they're both amazing. And they both are actually like, yeah, they're both very important parts of Cookie Club. So, batch number 2. This is our sugar and butter going in, lock it in, start the timer. Yeah, I have been warned, Lady Stiletto. Oh, and I felt warned. I felt warned. I was like, I am okay. I promise you, I will never come in here with a camera. So yeah, when I say like, oh, I need this number of cookies, right? I'm considering other things. Like right now, I'm considering there are 3 people that work at that post office. 2 of them I interact with regularly. The other one is in the back. So a packet each. You know, they each get a packet. And then Calvin's teachers get one now too. So I'm making cookies every month. I'm sort of like, all right, I'm gonna like keep this. I'm gonna like also give some to the community of folks that support that, which is fun, I suppose. All right, that's good. Cream for like 20 more seconds, 10 more seconds, whatever, a number of seconds farther. Now we add the egg and vanilla for 1 additional minute. This is why I measure everything ahead of time, because now I'm just adding to the bowl, and it takes mere moments for this batch to come together. Yep. I'm thirsty. I should get some water. When I open the fridge again, I'll do that. Y'all, I just noticed that the camera's not in the right alignment. Fix that before we do anything else here. Is it popcorn? It is. Lady Stiletto, it is an enormous bowl of popcorn. The reason that we have popcorn is for packing material. So when I package the boxes for cookies, hold on, we're gonna fix this camera right now. It got bumped. Hold on, I gotta go over here. I can't do this from the, I can't do that. This is like, it's gonna bother me if I don't fucking move this. It literally is gonna bother me. There we go. I noticed earlier that like the top of my head felt like it was being cut off. Yeah, okay. Almost there. Almost there. Hold on, one more moment. It's taking over. There we go. So the camera is sort of in a spot that gets bumped occasionally. There we go. That should be better. And I think I can deal with that, even if it's not perfectly the way I like it. Yeah, that's better. Perfect. Yes. Lady Stiletto, the popcorn is a large bowl of popcorn. I popped this before stream today. Occasionally I'll do it while I'm streaming, but I had time this morning, and I also wanted to make sure that I like finish stream at a reasonable time today. Because I told Calvin, I was like, you will not be sitting on your iPad all afternoon today. And I told Gwen, hey, I told Calvin he's not going to be sitting on his iPad all afternoon today. That means he's going to come bug you for something to do. So like, heads up, you gotta like, you might, if you don't want to be involved, if you want like your own time this afternoon, you got to tell me that, because then I'll like steer him into something that he can do solo or like with friends. And she was like, no, it's fine. Like, let me figure something out. So they are out for the afternoon. They went out to get lunch. They went to the arcade. They took a friend, one of Calvin's friends. They took a friend. So I am aiming to sort of be mostly finished by the time they get home. which means that this stream will not be 7 hours long. I regret to inform you. Also, it's Sunday, and like, I'm trying to go sit and watch football. No, I'm not. I'm just fucking around. That's not. No, I'm totally not. It's 2:05 p.m. here right now. The Eagles game is on at 1 p.m. and it is the perfect time to go to the grocery store. Because there is nobody there. The only people that go to the grocery store during the Eagles game are people that I actually want to be my friends. I mean, plenty of people are there that I don't want to be my friends, but like the likelihood is much higher. Mer, welcome in. Hello, Sarah. Hello. I love the rhyming title. Does the title of the stream rhyme? I'm glad. I don't know if that was intentional or not. I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure that was intentional. I'm not sure that. Anyway, I'm not positive. I don't even know what it is. I forget what it is at the moment. I don't actually know how to look at that. I was in your Reels yesterday. Hell yeah. I've been posting to Reels on YouTube or Shorts, whatever. If I was in your Reels, I think something went wrong. Reels are TikTok? No, that's TikToks. Reels are Instagram. Whatever. The nomenclature doesn't matter. Shorts. Yes. I've been posting to Shorts. Well, I have been clipping the stream like crazy. I've been I'm caught up. I'm caught up. I'm completely caught up. It's pretty amazing. Lemon said she saw you on the Nintendo. Cool. I don't actually know what that means. I'm not really sure what that means on the Nintendo. Interesting. Alternative Lucas on YouTube, welcome in. Alternative Lucas is asking me to fart as hard as I can on my camera and they'll subscribe forever. That's not a thing I can do on command. I'm sorry. It's Sports Smart your thing, man. Interesting. Some non-competitive baking. This is non-competitive baking. That is for sure. For sure. Okay, we're mixing these in. That is the next step. Anyway, if you are so inclined, going to subscribe on YouTube would be amazing. Because I definitely am going to hit the watch time there to make like affiliate, and I'm definitely going to hit like the content thing, whatever content volume. I just don't have the subscribers yet. So I'm like posting on Shorts more when I'm doing clipping. I'm not like, I'll be super honest that I'm literally just using the Twitch tool that like posts it directly to YouTube and I'm not touching it after that. I feel like that's super low effort. This is a family-friendly stream. Yeah, trust me, Mar, if my kid was here, he would make an effort to do exactly that request. That is a Calvin request. That is not a me request. I'm 40 years old, and if I make that attempt, we might have to be ending stream. Oh god, we're spiraling. Just kidding, we're not spiraling. When did that ever stop you? It hasn't. That's the thing. It's just I can't, and I don't know if my microphone would pick that up. Anyway, I addressed the chat. At least that was a thing. I don't have YouTube chat on the overlay. I should probably. And then Twitch would be like, "You're getting banned," because I don't like it when you promote other platforms. But they should pay more. But they don't. Anyway. Tell me what you really think about the sub split. Okay, then I will. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We are. You can ask me in private. TLDR, I think it's bad. Okay, yeah, you're not allowed to, Liz. You're not supposed to, but like no one enforces it. It doesn't functionally, like they don't actually enforce it unless you're like real big, or if someone reports you, which like, all right, narc. I knew you were gonna say that. Yeah. Yes, because I am on the platform and I'm aware of what the subsplit is. All right. Batch number 2. Done. It's because I know you love me. I mean, why not both? Why not both? Yeah, I'm not going to have it on I'm not going to put it on the overlay. Yeah, I'm just not going to put it on the overlay. I don't even know if I love the overlay, if I'm being honest about it. I feel like the chat overlay is nice, but I don't know if I don't know if anyone actually uses it. Like literally no one's ever said a single thing about it, positive or negative. So I have no idea if it's worth using or having. I built something in StreamerBot that I was really proud of the other day though. It's a thing that I can use. So I have some plans. Y'all, can I tell you like some plans? Am I bringing cookies to TwitchCon? Lady Stiletto, I am not bringing cookies to TwitchCon. That would be fun though. I actually could, I don't know. I could do that, but like, if I look at the calendar between now and TwitchCon, I don't think I have the time to literally make cookies for, like, this is it. We're doing Cookie Club on a Sunday because my schedule right now is bad. I have all sorts of stuff. I'm like, stuff be happening in my world here, and it's good, all good stuff, but it's just a lot. Like we're gonna stream now today. Tomorrow is going to be a different type of stream. We're going to be streaming later Monday night. I'm going to start stream at like 7:30, maybe 8 p.m. And we're just going to do like some video reviews. I've been talking about doing this for like well over a year, and I've never set up just like a computer-based sit down at a desk, just chatting style stream. And I have it ready to go. I think I have the OBS set up. I actually haven't tested it yet though, so at some point tomorrow, I'm gonna try to test it before we're going live. Or we might just rip it and see what happens. But there's a lot happening. Tuesday, we're gonna be doing a trip prep stream. Tuesday is gonna be stream number 500 for me. And I hadn't really considered doing anything like super special for it, and maybe that makes me a jerk or whatever. I don't know. Because I also realized that the 500 stream is not just about me, right? It's about like all of y'all who come to stream regularly. Like if nobody ever showed up to stream, I probably wouldn't be doing it. You know, it would be like, whatever. I might as well just record videos. Yeah, so you only deserve love in exchange for proper behavior, Lemon says. Have you discussed this with your new therapist? Oh, sorry. I had just, the chat, I didn't realize that was a response, and I was like, I feel called out. Anyway, carry on. Yes. So yeah, the schedule is basically borked at the moment. We're going to do, tomorrow night, we're going to be doing our 499th stream and just looking at some clips and like videos, highlights, stuff like that, like literal highlights. I don't mean like a highlight reel. I mean like on clips, there's a difference between highlights and clips. Anyway, whatever. Stop talking. So we're going to do that tomorrow. That's just like not a cooking stream, just at night. And then on Tuesday for the 500th stream, we're going to be doing a trip prep stream, which is what I did for my very first stream I'm sorry you accidentally applied my insight to you. Well, I was like, my response was like, my therapist isn't that new, but like, called out. Bobby G, welcome in. Hello. Batch number 3. Here we go. This is the last one before we get to actually making cookies or rolling cookies. Rolling. Keep rolling, rolling, rolling. Like Fred Durst said. That should be a sound command. That should be a sound command. Because I have made that joke no less than 10 times. Anyway. What was I saying? Oh. I was like, can I tell you what I was working on? Sure, I can. Sure, I can. I can say whatever I want. We've entered the danger zone. 1 minute for this. Okay, so I've been working in StreamerBot. I'd like to do some more YouTube content. I actually have like a plan for that now, more of a concrete process. I get into things, and it's hard for me to like start new processes, but I have someone I'm working with who I have a good like feedback loop with. I have an idea around like recording stuff versus like streaming versus recording, and like being able to do both of those at once, and like what are the concerns between the two. Not necessarily concerns, but like the other day I saw a bear. The other day I built a thing in StreamerBot that like turns things off. What do I say when what do I mean when I say that? Well, you know how there's like things that rain down on the stream, or like if you put an emote in chat, it like bounces across the stream, or like you can play sound commands and blah, blah, blah. And a lot of that is like intrusive if you were like trying to record something, which like no shade. That's why it's like, that's the difference between live, right? Is the interactivity. Anyway, if I was trying to record something and I wanted to do that at the same time as streaming, take like, 5 or 10 minutes worth of stream and be like, okay, this is going to be for a YouTube video now. I wanted to be able to do that. And now I like can, in a way of like, I can just turn off all the graphics. They're gone. And like, if you put an emote in chat, it won't come across the screen. It turned off all of the all of the channel point things that do like the mushroom, things like that. And it also turns off the sounds. So like right now, if we got a raid right now, nothing would happen. It would show up in chat. Everything in chat would stay the same. Chat, it would still come through. But like follows never have any sound. But like literally right now, at least as far as I've tested, nothing is going to happen. Like you all collectively, chat, collectively, cannot interrupt. You can't interrupt with sounds or graphics. The only thing that you can do is if you gigantify an emote, which I don't have any control over, but also doesn't come through on my end. So all of that right now is off. So if I want to record like a little explainer about how to do something or something like that, I can just do that while I'm streaming. And for those of y'all who've hung out here long enough, you know that I'm busy. You know that like I'm a parent and I have shit going on outside of stream, right? We're going to turn the sounds back on. Okay. Sounds, everything that just turned off should just be back on now. And I was like, I'm thinking like, when do I get time to like, when could I have time to record a YouTube video, right? Well, when am I standing in front of the camera, right? So I'm trying to like make a little effort, like just like I've sort of brought recipe development into the stream. because it's something that I'm doing and it's paying me, which is helpful. I'm trying to bring some other things that like, I'm trying to consolidate. Like if I'm going to stream for 7 hours on a Tuesday, like I can take some of that time and turn it into like recording something or like creating, you know, a video or something, which is also potentially engaging for all of y'all. But that's sort of the plan. That's the thought anyway. I hope the sound's turned back on. Right now, Liz is going to be like, hey, nothing's working anymore. And I'm going to be like, oh, shit, my bad. I did test it, though. I tested it pretty extensively. It took a while to build.
Don't worry. I know what I'm doing. I have no freaking idea what I'm doing.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. So I built sort of a lot of that type of thing. I have like a whole, on the stream deck now, I have a whole like YouTube panel that I can use. So we're gonna potentially do some of that as well. We'll see. Anyway, all of that all stems, if we like roll back to where that explanation / expose of my sort of current status came from. Mer said that they saw me on the short of mine yesterday where I was like talking about a tip. I was talking about using a sheet pan and heating your grilled cheese in the oven. But that's the type of thing where like if I'm streaming and I'm like, oh, this would make a good like short, right? I can sort of turn everything off for a second, do that as if I was filming a short or a reel or a TikTok or whatever, and then just turn it back on. Liz, what should I do on YouTube? Bella says I have a vacuum sealer. We found 2 New York strip steaks from 2018 in the bottom of the freezer. Hell yeah, they looked fine and they smelled fine. We just had an impromptu steak and eggs for breakfast. A 2018 steak. That is, I would say that's aged. I love it. I support that entirely. I support that entirely, Velos. I would do the same. I would do the same. Bobby G, I see also you mentioned that you mod for Acronel. That's cool. Welcome in. We appreciate mods. Moderators are the frontline guardians of decorum on this platform, such as it is. Decorum means different things in different channels. Film how I make the egg loaf. Hell yeah, Liz. You know what, Liz? I appreciate that suggestion. It's that was actually one of the things where I was going through that thought about the egg loaf thing spurred sort of some of this like line of thinking, mainly because I was going through the Twitch VOD where I made that and was like, I can't really use this because there's like a lot going on like at the same time, and I want to be able to I wanted to be able to record all of the different cameras at once, that type of thing. So that's the last thing I have to figure out is the source record plugin, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Bobby G asked, what kind of camera do I use? Well, good question. Glad you asked. We have 3 for the stream. One of them's frozen currently. One of them is frozen, so just give me a second here to unfreeze that. Like I said, we're professional over here, so we have of course, one of the cameras doesn't work. That's why we have 3. Or isn't working currently. Where is that camera? Audio, microphone, stove. There it is. Sources. Deactivate. Activate. And away we go. There's no button that you can. There's no action in StreamerBot to activate or deactivate a camera. It's kind of annoying. Anyway, this is an Elgato Facecam Pro. These 2 are Elgato Facecams. So just It's all everything's Elgato around here. The thing holding the cameras up, the lights, the light stands, all of it. Mostly. Yeah. These lights in the background aren't. Those are, I forget what those are. Philips Hue, I think. I don't know. Gwen had them in the basement and I took them. Sorry. Oh yeah, I do have all the gear listed. Yeah, and that's up to date. That panel. Thanks, Liz. I forgot. Moderators are the backbone of Twitch. Lurkers also, but for things like that, we're like, hey, you want to know more about the gear? It's there. I forgot it was there. I do update that. Anytime I get a new piece of gear, I do remember that it's there. So, for what it's worth, I know that it's updated. I just forgot about it. Anyway, yeah, it's all the gear. I mean, this is like 3.5 years worth of buildup of stuff. You know, a little bit here, a little bit there. So, a lot of these were Christmas presents over the past 3 years. Most folks I know IRL know that I also stream, and you know, they're like, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I'm like, "Hardware," because it's expensive, and I'm not going to buy it myself. Real talk. I'm not. If I buy stuff, it is from the streamer gear emporium, a la a recipe report, which is where this camera over here comes from. Bedra, welcome in. What's up? What's up is we're making some cookies today. Cookies are blueberry, coconut, pecan cookies. They are I'm almost ready to start baking, y'all. We're here. We have 2 batches worth of dough in this bowl, and I'm getting my 3rd batch in right now. There's a lot of fucking dough in here. This may not. You know what? I should have put this on the scale to see if the scale will register as much dough as is in here, because this is a ton. Clicking on the stream was a mistake while hungry. I mean, I'm making dessert, so if you want to make yourself a snack, dessert will be available afterward. A snack, a meal. The thing that you eat between meals are the thing that you eat between desserts. Man, I just took a bite of something and my stomach was like, "Hey, what's up? You also have not eaten today." I have not eaten today. I forgot. I was busy. I was doing stuff. All right, we have 3 batches worth of dough here. What's my tare on this scale? I forget. 274. So this bowl the bowl itself weighs 274 grams. Please don't overload the scale. Okay, perfect. Y'all want to guess how many pounds of dough this is? Pounds. I'll tell you, it was a number that surprised me. It's a thick dough. We got 4, we got 7. I'll leave the guesses open for just a second as I clear off my counter and get ready to make and roll cookies. How many pounds of dough is this? Luke Skywalker says 10 pounds of dough. Welcome in. Welcome in. We got 9. We got low of 4, high of 10 currently. If someone has guessed the number that you think it was, you can feel free to guess the same number. We're not, numbers are not exclusive to an individual here. These are your personal thought about how many pounds of dough it is. Let me wash my hands also. I didn't say it. Now, if you remember what I said the first batch weighed, if you were watching at that point and you remember what that number was, you could probably do some math. 7.8, fellas. That's a specific number. 4 pounds, 20 ounces, Pedro. I mean, one thing leads to the other. These are cookies. Wow. Oh, shit. I know why that camera... I am a professional streamer. I am a professional streamer. I know why that camera was up like that. That camera was up because I had it zoomed in. Now that it's zoomed back out, it's in the wrong place again. Okay, let me fix the camera one more time. I swear this is all I'm gonna, this is it. This is it. Hold on, is it zoomed out? Yes. Okay, it's at 100%. Hold on. That should be down. I was like, how did it get bumped that perfectly? Well, it didn't. I'm looking at my computer. It didn't get bumped. I, the operator of the camera, changed it. Okay, this bowl of dough weighs 165 ounces. That is 10 pounds and 5 ounces. And by Price is Right rules, Luke Skywalker, your answer is the closest. No one guessed over that. 10 pounds, 5 ounces, 165 ounces, 4,680 grams. Stream can't end until I eat the whole bowl of dough. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's a lot of dough. Wait, we have 165 ounces. Now that includes the bowl. That includes the bowl. So, you know, we need to take a little bit off of that. But if we have, okay, pause. You know what we need to do? We need to measure out how much is 2.5. Here's what we're gonna do. Listen, we have an ad break coming up in just a moment here. We're gonna run a 3-minute ad on Twitch. We're going to do a game of words on stream. I'm going to do the dishes in the sink so that we stay ahead of it. And when we come back, we're going to figure out how many cookies are going to be in this bowl, estimated. Okay. Here comes a game of words on stream. Here comes a 3-minute ad on Twitch. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Get yourself a snack, get yourself a drink, stand up and stretch, have a good cry. We'll see you in a moment. Okay, bye.
Hi.
There it goes.
Welcome to another edition of Commercials I Hate.
Do these. Get these dishes done up here. We're gonna load the dishwasher. Loading the dishwasher. We're loading. Loading the dishwasher. Clearing out the sink. That's the goal. I want to have no dishes left in the sink at the end of stream. That is my goal. 100% today. I'm aiming for that, and I am pretty solidly confident that we're going to get there. So I also have clean dishes here I can put away. All right. Dishes are once again done. While that is running, let's put the dishes that are clean away. Just empty this dish pan now. There we go. Oh man, that camera's having some trouble today, huh? All right, that camera is having some trouble. Seems like folks are not interested in words today, so we are going to clear that anyway. And that's fine. Not always interested in the words on stream. Why is this camera all of a sudden like just not functioning the way it's supposed to? I wonder if it's not plugged in. I wonder if it's like coming unplugged. Unclear. It doesn't. Let's see though. It's weird that it's doing that. It's concerning that it's doing that. While we are finishing up the last couple seconds of this ad break, let's deactivate and activate. Yeah, it's just being weird. I don't know. Don't know why that camera's not working correctly, but it's over. It's over. Thank you, Strong Matt. All right, we're back from our break. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. I understand that the breaks are not everyone's favorite, nor are they mine. Okay, let's figure out how much of how many cookies we have in this bowl. That will help with figuring out. I want to figure out how many. It says 2.5 ounces per cookie. I want to figure out how many grams that's going to be, because I measured the bowl. I have the measurement of the bowl in grams, not in ounces, but the cookie measurements are in ounces, not grams. So let's figure out how many ounces is 2.5 ounces, or how many grams is 2.5 ounces worth of dough. Just like starting out, what does that look like physically? Like how big of a cookie is that? That's 2.45. Okay, 2.5. That is 2.5 ounces. That is a relatively large cookie. So take that out to grams. That's 70 grams per cookie. I think usually when we do cookies, we do 2 ounces per cookie. So if we have 70, we're doing some math here. We're doing some math. Sorry. So this is 274 grams. So we have 4,679 total minus 274 for the bowl is 4,405. Divided by 70 is 62 cookies. So 62, I'll get 62.9 of these size cookies. These look pretty sizable. It said these were minis, but I think this is probably about right. That'll leave me with like a 15 to 20 cookie cushion for extras / household cookies and whatever. I might do like 2.25. So let's see what is 50 grams? What does 60 grams look like for a cookie? 63, 60 grams. All right, 60 grams is like that. Dr. Hicks Mikey, welcome in. I think we're gonna do 60 grams and then let's do this again. Just gotta do this whole thing again because I didn't write it down any of the numbers. I didn't write down any of the numbers, so wait, I gotta tear it. Okay, there we go. 4,679 minus 274 divided by 60 equals 73 cookies. Okay, that's a more comfortable number. I think 60 grams per cookie is the right number here. And it says if you're doing the smaller ones, they take 8 to 9 minutes to cook, which is not that much. So we're gonna get started. We're gonna get started making cookies. My oven is already heated, and I need to get my sheet pans out. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the big sheet pans. Dr. Hex Mikey, hello and welcome. Happy Sunday. I hope you're having a good one. We're gonna use the silicone pastry mats here. The Silpat mats. You know, these sheet pans only really ever get used for Cookie Club. They're too big for like normal usage. I use these, no, I do use these for, when do I use these sheet pans? I use these sheet pans for Cookie Club. I use these sheet pans for, I use them for gnocchi last, and I use these when we do dip dinner, which is just essentially all of the frozen stuff that I can get. All the frozen stuff, fish sticks, chicken strips, fries, tater tots, pierogies, all that shit, is all of that on a sheet pan. I'm also going to get out a sheet pan so that I can so that I can keep rolling while these are cooking. Nope, there's no parchment paper in there. While they are cooking, I'm going to continue to process the dough until it is done. So I'm going to put a sheet of parchment paper on here. Here's a fun little tip I learned from a fellow streamer friend. When you are having your sheet pan, if you want your parchment paper to lay flat, you can crumble it up, kind of give it a little wrinkly, and then lay it flat again. And if it's been on a roll, it'll lay relatively flat for you. Fun, right? We're gonna do a couple cookies on here. We'll start on this sheet pan, and then once I get this in the oven, we'll just immediately start. It says 8 to 9 minutes per cookie sheet. So we're gonna get a timer for 8 going. Dr. Hex Mikey, I hope the rest of your workday is smooth and easy. I understand. Sometimes Sundays can either be super relaxed or extremely hectic, I guess, depending on what kind of job you're doing on a Sunday. I hope yours is relaxed. Feral Tornado, good afternoon. Welcome in. All right, we're just going to start here. What did I say? 60 grams? 60 grams per cookie. So, perfect. Now, measure out your dough balls. Place your cookie dough balls onto a baking sheet. Leave plenty of room. Okay, so it says balls, so we're making rounded balls. I'm not flattening them or smashing them at all. We're just putting them on. I'm gonna let them melt into their own selves. And I like 60 as a number here because I can do multiples of 60 in my head and I don't need to tear the scale between each one. So just being like, just for my own sort of ease of making, 60 is an easier number than 70. And these look pretty substantial right now. So I'm gonna put less on this tray than I think can actually go, and we'll see once these are finished baking, we'll see how many I can actually put on here. I think I can probably make 10 or so, but I don't know. I don't know. He did not know. Perfect. All right. Yeah, no more curls indeed. No more curls on your little parchment paper if you follow my handy trick that I got from someone else, and I cannot claim to have come up with that on my own. And I bet you they didn't come up with it either. I bet you it was an internet thing, like so many things are. Okay, we're gonna kind of stagger these a little bit here. And I'm gonna put 8 on a tray. I think that's about the right number. Mega, welcome in. Good afternoon to you. Happy Sunday. I hope you're having a good one. We're making cookies here. These are math. These are mathing. We are making Cookie Club cookies today. Blueberry, coconut, pecan cookies. All right, this is tray number 1 going in the oven. Now, I'm going to start the timer. Thing number 1, start the timer, 8 minutes. Thing number 2, I'm going to take my camera and see, this camera's been like, not on its best today, so we're going to see if this will, I'm going to kind of see if I can get this camera to cooperate. We're going to use this camera and put it in the oven and then see if it freezes or what. Flip. Thanks, StreamerBot. That made things really easy. And go. All right, and if those cookies never change shape, we'll know the camera has frozen. And then they'll burn, because that's what I'm going to be looking at while I'm rolling the rest of them. Okay. So fun fact, I've been going through, not really that fun. I guess it is factual, but I've been going through and I am up to date on clipping the streams. I have clipped every single stream up through the last one that Calvin and I did together. The only one I haven't quite finished yet is the Renaissance Fair, because that one had like, because I didn't do any notation in that one when I was live. Usually when I'm IRL, I can't like note a thing that I want to clip. There's no like moment to do that. Not that I do that in the kitchen either, but I am completely up to date. My goal was that by Monday, tomorrow night, when we sit down and do like a clips watching stream, that I didn't have any streams that weren't yet touched. So I made it. I made it a day early, and I'm very happy with myself. And it's actually made watching, it's been good because I've been watching like the actual stream back and like taking notes on certain things, and I think it will help improve the stream quality in general. Like doing that consistently. I've gone through periods of doing that where I do that for a while and then I don't, but I've been pretty consistent about it through the summer. So I think it might be sticking. You know how you have to have like X number of hours or weeks or whatever to create a habit? I'm trying to create a habit. And I'm also, there's also a level of humility that comes with watching yourself talk for a long enough time and realizing all of the horrible mouth sounds that I make sometimes, and just how often I say and cool and neat, and how often I go So it's very humbling to watch yourself on stream. I'm exceedingly self-aware at this point, which is also good. I think that's good. Sort of good. I don't know. Anyway, there's a lot of clips if you want to watch the clip. If you ever want to go back and like watch clips, there's a ton of them. Thousands, in fact. All right. So we have 4 minutes left on those cookies. It does look like they are flattening, at least on the screen. It looks like they're flattening in real life too. I think they're going to take a little longer than 8 minutes because they don't look very flat right now. And I guess we're only halfway done. So things accelerate on the second half. So I know we should be. We'll see. We'll see how they look. I forget if I flattened these or not before when I made them. I don't recall because sometimes I'll be making a recipe and I'll be like, oh, like it doesn't say to do this, but then it turns out that it's better if I like press them a little bit. They spread better. I didn't write that down, so we'll see. It might be the case, but I'm not sure. But it looks, at least this one that's in the bottom right of the camera there, that one is looking pretty. It's looking like they're a good size anyway. I was thinking maybe 60 grams might be too small ultimately, but I don't think so. Yeah, the one in the back, they're spreading out. I do feel like maybe they might get they might benefit from a little press, and we'll figure that out after this first batch comes out of the oven. Cool. Off to Trader Joe's. Good, Liz. Good luck. Don't forget to take your like a way of defending yourself with you. I hear that Trader Joe's on a Sunday is like a battlefield. I myself have only experienced Trader Joe's a handful of times, and it always feels a bit chaotic. I have to imagine that Sunday is like watching people fist fight over quinoa. Oh wait, that's Whole Foods. Whatever. I hope you have a good grocery trip. Yeah, these are coming along. I think 60 is continuing to look down. Yeah, I feel like 60 is a good. That one that's in the front bottom right there seems to be the sort of best spreading one at the moment. I'm wondering if I should rotate the tray halfway through too. Yeah, we got 1 minute left on the clock. I'm pretty sure these are going to take at least 1 minute past that. I set my oven to these are supposed to cook at 400. I set my oven to 410 because it's not calibrated, so I don't have a lot of confidence in the temperature of my oven, that the temperature is the exact right temperature. So we'll evaluate here in just a moment, about 30 seconds. I'm going to finish rolling this cookie and then we're going to look. Those, as I'm looking at them on the screen there, do not look like they are flattened. Also, it appears that this camera has frozen. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that camera continues to freeze. Okay, so those cookies are flatter. They're a lot flatter than what's on that camera. John, welcome in. We have a minute. I'm gonna give these 1 more minute in here. Yeah, I think 1 more minute for these. And then they should be good. Camera, the laptop getting overloaded. I don't know. This camera has been, it's cut out on me a couple times recently, and I'm not sure why. Today it's doing it consistently. I'm gonna go at the end of stream. I will submit. I'll look at the OBS logs. I won't look at them. I'll put them into the OBS log analyzer and see what that has to say first. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Fortunately, it's the stove camera and not this camera. So if it was the overhead camera, that would be worse. Okay, let's take these out. So I'm not popping another tray in right now because I want to evaluate what these look like. All right, so it's not that the camera's coming unplugged. I know that because when I hit deactivate and reactivate in OBS, it like is fine. Is fine. So, Fred, welcome in. Hello. Happy Sunday to you. I hope you're having a good one. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for bringing friends. It's good to have you. We are in the midst of making some cookies today, so you've caught us at a good time. You've caught us at a good time. Those of y'all who are hanging out here already, Creme Delish is a fellow food and drink streamer. Just finished, in fact, a food and drink stream, probably a food stream if I'm guessing. Welcome. There's a link to Creme Delish's Twitch channel in the chat, and you should go click it and hit follow. Friends who joined us, we are making cookies today. It's nice to have you. My name's Lou. This is a food and drink stream. We're doing about 80% of the stream. 80% of what we do on stream is food and cooking, and the other 20% is stuff IRL in and around the city of Philadelphia, which is where I live. Generally, we're making vegetable-forward family meals. We also do some recipe development of all types, mostly simple recipes, home cook type recipes. We also do some baking, which we're clearly doing today, and yeah, we go out in the world too with a little camera on a stick. It's super fun. So follows are silent here. If you're a lurker like I am and you don't want to be perceived in chat, you don't want to hit follow and have someone make like a big deal out of it, please feel free to hit the follow button. There's no alerts, there's no sounds, there's no chat messages, and I won't say hi to you unless you say hi in chat first. And if you don't say hi in chat first, please feel free to just enjoy your lurk. Creme says I drank a Coke while I streamed food. Does that count? Yes, it counts. That reminds me, I said like an hour ago, when I open the refrigerator, I want to get a drink. I'm very parched. I'm going to get a drink. It's Sunday. We're going to celebrate with a non-alcoholic Peroni beer. Baker, welcome in. Baker, I hope your drive is going well. Baker's driving. So if the cookies are going well, we're working on, I just took the first batch out of the oven. So I'm making sure that these are okay and that they're sort of what I want with the timing and the number on the sheet pan, etc., before we start really like rolling in the next batch. Entering Wisconsin, time for cheese. Hell yeah. That's what's up. It is cheese time. Good time to be driving Sunday afternoon. Yeah, these are the cookies. They are little brown feet at the bottom. That's what you're looking for generally, right around the bottom where they get sort of that brown ring where they hit the sheet pan. They are tall cookies, so they didn't spread very much. I think what I'm going to do with these is when I put them in the sheet pan, I'm going to give them like a little tap, just like a little pat on the top. That way they flatten out just a little bit more than they are. But these have been out of the oven for a few minutes now. I want to get my wire racks out to start loading these up with cookies as we do. I'm gonna break one of these open. I know they're not like ready yet. The directions also say that you should wait about 30 minutes before eating them. But like, what? So you should wait about 30 minutes before eating them. So we're gonna, let's see. cool on the baking sheet for 10 minutes. They have not been on the baking sheet for 10 minutes. These have not even been out of the oven for that long, but I want to take a look at them anyway, just because that's how we're doing it. Okay. These are the cookies as they have just relatively come out of the oven. They're soft right now, so they're a little bit, let's see. Are they? Yeah, these are undercooked. Whoa. Yeah, these are undercooked. So the inside of those is still a bit doughy. I want to flatten these out with my hands. I'm gonna, like, when I put them on the pan next, I'll flatten them just a touch. But I'm gonna pop these back in the oven. They're good, but they're doughy, they're battery. So this is why we don't just start baking. We bake one batch and then see what they're like. Cerelac, who can wait 30 minutes? Yeah, not me. Yeah, Baker, every so often you're going back a time zone, so it's like you're driving back and forward in time. Ooh, actually, yeah. I was like, oh, it's great. You're like gaining an hour every once in a while. No, you're not. You're losing an hour. Ryan got to see his people. I'm assuming that's your sourdough starter. All right. Well, here's what I'm gonna do. These are a bit underbaked still. I'm gonna kind of give them just a flatten with a spatula to open up the inside. I'm gonna pop these back in the oven for a few more minutes. I'm not gonna send these. These are not Cookie Club cookies at this point. These are cookies that are testers. But I think that the overall, like, that number on a sheet pan, that's a good number. That's a good number. 8, I think, on the sheet pan, and then flatten them with my hand a little bit is the way to go. You can let them be as gooey as you want. Yeah, I don't actually know if they were up to 160. Like they sort of fell apart. Maybe I'll temp the next ones. But I'm gonna add a note, excuse me, on here. Let's see. Usually with cookies like this that have like a larger cookie that come in like a big ball, it's always kind of my instinct to push them down a little bit. And kind of what Lemon said, like, you don't obviously need to do that. But I think those were maybe just on the side of gooey where I'm like, they're raw. I'm sure that the temperature was fine though. They were in the 400 degree oven. They're just cookies. Like, they melted and were browned. Man. Yeah, I haven't drank in a long time. Like, beer. It's a good example of oven temp and time is not always foolproof. No, especially when your oven is not like well calibrated. And I've been saying this for a long time. Mine is a bit of a mystery when it comes to my actual what the actual temperature of the oven is. So I don't know if it's actually at 400. That's sort of the other thing. Let's see. I'm just looking at something here. I'm looking at this camera and why it's not functional because it's kind of bothering me, honestly. But okay, I'm gonna take a note here that this is the part of, yeah, this is like, it's working right now. I'm not gonna turn it back on because I don't really trust it, but we'll see. Let's get this other tray ready though. And actually, let me pull these out of the oven because I think I'm gonna end up forgetting and then these are just gonna burn like crazy and I'd rather, they're definitely edible. They're not ideal, but all right. Those are good. Let's get this next tray ready to go. We'll pop that in. I'm gonna leave it in for 9 minutes and I'm gonna flatten them just a little bit and we'll see how that goes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the other thing is that as I use these trays are cold right now. So they're not, they're not the same as they will be when we're cycling through here. So they'll end up, the trays will end up also being like slightly warmer. Not significantly, but just slightly. So I took a little different approach and I flattened these this time. So they're already a little bit flat. What I'm anticipating is that they will still remain like lofted like those other ones, but they will spread a little bit further and cook a little bit more in the center. That's the goal. All right, let's pop these in here. So I know, regardless of the cook time, that these are the right size cookies. So that is a nice, that's like a bonus. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn this camera on again and confirm that it's working at the moment. Okay, this is the part of stream where the camera is working. I set my timer so I'm not reliant on the visuals, but we're gonna set a little marker in the stream and we'll see what happens on our OBS log at that time. Darlene on YouTube, welcome in. Hello, how are you? I'm great. I'm doing well, despite our stove camera our stove camera is basically today like, listen, it's Sunday, please don't make me work. Why are you making me work on a Sunday? That's what's going on right now. I think it's just protesting. There's a glitch in the matrix. Whatever. But I'm doing well. Today is a relatively relaxing day at the moment. Rusty, welcome in. What's going on? Rusty, good to see you. Hope you're having a good one. Friend of the stream, Rusty Rhymes. I hope you're well. What was your what were y'all up to today on stream? Got to raid and run to the store. Need parm. Rusty, good to see you. Hey Rusty, I understand that you're running, and that's great. I want to tell you. Can I share one thing with you? I want to share that Tuesday is going to be my 500th stream. And I want to say thank you to you personally for being in my first stream. And I appreciate that. And Lady was my 50th follower. My 50th follower. That put me over into affiliate. So y'all have been very important to me as streamers. Go get your Parmesan. Thank you for bringing friends. Y'all who came over with Rusty, welcome in. It's nice to have you. Jane, Cookies and Science, right? Welcome in, y'all. It's nice to have you. Friends who are hanging out here already, listening to me complain, / talk, which is kind of looks very similar. depending on what we're talking about. Rusty Rhymes and Lady Naginata, who is also here in chat, run a really amazing variety stream, food, drink, lots of cooking. I knew them, you know, my intro to them was when they were doing cooking, but they've since branched out. They do a lot of variety. They do gaming. They also do, one of my favorite things is the house party that they do. It's, they take a look through like Zillow, and they pick a location and go through like house listings in that area, and it's like really well done. I think they have good production value. I was just today, this stove camera is like giving me issues, so everyone has production issues from time to time. But friends who just joined us, welcome in. My name's Lou. It is nice to have you. Note number one, follows are silent. There's no alerts, no sounds, no pop-ups, and no chat messages. And if you hit the follow button, I will not say hi to you until you say hi in chat first, because I am a big lurker and don't always love being perceived. And if you're like me, maybe you don't like being perceived either. But you can say hi in chat. There's channel points that you can use to say hi. So anyway, this is a food and drink stream. We cook here for the most part. We also do some IRLs in and around Philadelphia, and mostly what I'm cooking is vegetable forward family meals for myself, my partner, and our son. He is 10. He was with me on the last stream. We were making a bunch of desserts together. We're making desserts again today, snacks, cookies specifically. I have some cookies in the oven right now, and here we go. Barbara, welcome in. Hypno Rift, welcome in. Nice to have you. Let me scroll up here, and also, hold on. Let me give. Let's do. Hold on. How do I do this? We do that, and then there's a link in chat. You should go follow Rusty's channel. It's a good one and worth following. It is a lot of dough. Hypno Rift. We are doing Cookie Club today. Cookie Club is our monthly rewards for community members. You can enter Cookie Club by subscribing or gifting subs, giving bits, giving tips. You can pay to enter. You can also enter through a lot of different ways. There's channel point redeems that you can use for that. You can raid the channel. So Rusty, your raid there is a Cookie Club entry. You can use the command check-in command. It's in the title of the stream. Every multiple of 20 check-ins is a Cookie Club entry. You can level up in Discord, and you can, there's a lot of them. Command cookies if you want to know what all of them are. There's a list of all of those things. If you're a recurring subscriber, that's also a point. If you're a tier 2 subscriber, your entries get doubled. And if you're a tier 3 subscriber, I will send you cookies every month without having to enter at all. So there's that. I do reach out on Discord for Cookie Club entries. BT dub. That's by the way, as the kids say. I do reach out on Discord for confirming entries and like navigating all of that. So there's a link to Discord somewhere around in the stream. Command Discord. That you can use to make your way into Discord if you're not there already. Moon Dice, welcome in. Nice to have you. Happy Sunday. I hope you're having a good one. We are trying to have a good one here. It's going well. Is this still working? Don't breathe. Yes, it is. Okay, it's still working. I think it's an OBS thing. Anyway, this camera right here, the one that's looking into my oven at the cookies that are in the oven, was giving me a little bit of trouble earlier. I've reset it a couple times in this stream, and I don't know why it's being acting all weird, but we'll We're not going to figure it out on stream because I'm live, and that would probably require, like, me just staring at the computer for a little while, and, like, that's not exciting. That is a stream for a different day. Anyway, I hope y'all are having a really good Sunday. It's been a good one here. I don't usually stream on Sunday. Typically, my schedule is Tuesday and Thursday, although this week is going to be a weird one. We're going to be streaming tomorrow night. And then Tuesday, well, I'll be live on Tuesday again. So I'm typically a daytime, like midday to early evening East Coast time during the week is my usual schedule. We do have a lot of dough here. I have about 72 or so cookies worth of dough. I have a tray in the oven right now. I'm making this last ball, and then we're going to switch and get the next batch loaded onto another tray. Because once this timer goes off in a few seconds, I'm going to want to switch these out. Okay, timer's going off. We're gonna just give that a second here while I get another tray loaded up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These look. Whoa. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Right. Thing is, these look better than the last. But we're going sideways. Let's get the output. Being, I flatten these, and we're going to start. And something here. What? It's taking up all my processor. Let's see. Let's. Yes, we're having a. We're just slow. I'm going to go back to 2 cams. I'll stop. Everything's. And. Okay. Unplug this camera, so added select your but it's not anyways so we're just deactivate this camera okay we turn off the earbuds okay it turns off and that is off.